Have you ever felt like you're surrounded by noise, but no one's really saying anything? We live in a world where men shout to be seen, overshare to feel important, and chase applause like it's oxygen. They talk too much, reveal too much, need too much, and in the process, they bleed out their power, word by word, post by post, approval by approval. But the man who moves in silence, he's a different kind of force. He doesn't beg to be noticed. He doesn't shrink to be accepted. He speaks rarely, but with weight. He acts slowly, but with precision. His presence alone says more than 1,000 words ever could. Because he knows, discipline speaks louder than noise, and silence, when rooted in purpose, can become deafening. This isn't about hiding. It's about becoming unshakable. In 2025, the man who wins will not be the loudest. He will be the most controlled, the most intentional, the most unmoved. If something inside you has been restless, tired of pretending, tired of performing, then stay. You're not here by accident. You're here because you know it's time to move differently, to think differently. And if that resonates with you, then breathe, settle in, and keep watching. No pressure, just presence. Let's begin. Number 1, stop handing people the map to your life. In a world obsessed with validation, the most dangerous man is the one who moves in silence. Every time you overshare your vision, every time you explain yourself just to be understood, you dilute your power. You take the blueprint of your future, hand it to those who can't see the destination, and allow their doubts, fears, and mediocrity to taint your clarity. That's not strength. That's self-sabotage. Stop sacrificing your potential for the illusion of acceptance. You were not born to beg for permission. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, didn't justify his plans to the crowd. His words were for his soul, his actions for history. He understood something we often forget. True power is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't chase applause. It simply moves with precision, with intent, and without noise. When you explain yourself, you invite the wrong energy into your space. You give room for critics to dissect your purpose and doubters to drain your drive. The more you talk, the more they project their fears onto your path. The most powerful men in history didn't ask, "Do you think this will work?" They acted, and the world followed. Think about it. The warriors, the visionaries, the leaders, they didn't wait for understanding. They didn't explain. They became. Because power doesn't ask for approval, it declares itself through results. And every time you feel the urge to share your next move, ask yourself, who am I trying to convince? If the answer isn't yourself, then you're already giving too much away. Let your actions speak. Let your silence build tension. Let your results echo so loud they can't be ignored. The most dangerous man isn't the one who brags, who performs, who begs to be seen. It's the one who stays quiet, moves with intention, and lets the world discover him after the fact, when it's already too late to stop him. Stop handing out the keys to your kingdom. Your vision, it's sacred. Your path, not for public discussion. Your plan, no one needs to understand it until it's done. You owe no explanations for what you're building. You don't need to water down your fire so others feel comfortable standing next to it. Most people won't understand your silence, but they'll feel the weight of it. And when they finally see what you've built, they'll wonder how you did it. But by then, you'll already be on to the next move. Silence isn't empty. It's loaded with power, strategy, and control. And when used with intention, it becomes the most intimidating language of all. So the next time you're tempted to overshare, remember this: power doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need applause. It just is. And when it's ready, the world will know. Number 2. Social media is mind poison. Guard your soul. There's a new addiction that doesn't come in a bottle, a needle, or a pill. It comes in pixels and praise. And it's more dangerous than all the others combined, because you never see it coming. Attention is the drug. Social media is the dealer. And your soul is the price. Each time you reach for your phone, you're reaching for approval, for applause, for a digital pat on the back from people who don't know you, don't love you, and wouldn't lift a finger if you were drowning. It's a slow death, masked as validation, a prison without bars, a leash you wear willingly. The weak chase likes like a man gasping for air. They need to be seen, heard, applauded. Every photo, every post, every caption is a cry. Please notice me. But the strong, they disappear. They reject the bait. They know that true growth demands solitude, not spotlight. A man becomes a slave the moment he lets strangers decide his worth. When your mood rises and falls with the number of hearts on a screen, you're not living, you're performing. You're not building, you're begging. You rise when they clap, you break when they boo. And slowly, piece by piece, your sovereignty is stolen. Stoic wisdom teaches us this. Never put your peace in someone else's hands. Musonius Rufus warned of the crowd, the chaos of collective thinking. He knew that when the masses cheer for you, it feels good, but it's dangerous. Because the same masses that praise you today will crucify you tomorrow if it serves their entertainment. And if you've tied your identity to their approval, you'll be destroyed along with it. A true Stoic moves in silence. He does not perform for attention like a street clown tossing tricks for coins. He does not share his wounds online, hoping for sympathy or applause. He suffers quietly, learns privately, and builds something so strong, so undeniable, that it doesn't need to be explained. It demands respect without asking for it. Social media isn't just a distraction, it's corrosion. It eats at your discipline, your clarity, your purpose. You trade hours of your life for 10-second dopamine hits, scrolling through curated illusions while your own reality goes untouched. You've been conditioned to measure your worth by followers, by filters, by approval from people who wouldn't recognize your voice if you spoke in person. And all the while, your dreams sit quietly in the corner, unattended, forgotten, gathering dust. Ask yourself, what are you really building when you post every step of your journey for likes? Are you becoming stronger or simply more dependent on applause? You want to be dangerous? Then become invisible. Starve the beast. Deny it your energy, your attention, your soul. Don't argue online. Don't post your pain. Don't beg for visibility. Let them wonder where you've gone. Let them whisper. Let them speculate. But give them nothing. Withdraw. Work. Build in the shadows. Because when you move in silence, your power grows undisturbed, unshaken by noise, unshaped by opinion. And one day, when the time is right, when your foundation is built in stone and your discipline unbreakable, you will return. But not to speak, not to explain, not to perform. You will return with results so overwhelming that they speak louder than any caption ever could. Let them scroll, let them perform, let them chase applause. But you build a life that doesn't need to be posted to be real. You cultivate strength that doesn't beg for affirmation. You protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Remember, the most dangerous man is not the loudest. He is the quiet one, the one who speaks rarely but acts decisively, the one who says little, but when he moves, everything shifts. That's the man the world fears, and that's the man you're becoming. Number 3, protect your mind like a fortress. A weak man's mind is like an open field, exposed, unguarded, overrun by every passerby. Every whisper enters, every opinion takes root, every distraction finds a home. He allows the world to plant its noise inside him until it's no longer clear which thoughts are his and which belong to the crowd. He absorbs their chaos, their doubt, their confusion. He becomes a man without borders, shaped not by purpose, but by whatever noise is loudest that day. His identity is reaction, his direction is borrowed, his peace sold off in small pieces for the illusion of connection. But the strong man is different. His mind is not a field, it is a fortress, walled, guarded, selective. He chooses what enters. Not every voice is granted an audience. Not every distraction earns his time. Not every fool deserves a reply. His thoughts are not a public highway, they are sacred ground. He understands a simple truth the modern world tries to erase, that the greatest currency is not money, not status, not influence. It is attention, and whoever owns your attention owns you. The world is full of thieves, not of gold, but of focus, merchants of distraction, parasites of purpose. They knock at your gates daily, dressed as news, as trends, as humor, as urgent messages that are anything but. Gossipers want your time. Cowards want your energy. The lost want company in their confusion. Their chaos is disguised as conversation, their noise as entertainment, and a weak mind opens the gates wide, offering no resistance, letting every stranger walk through with muddy feet. It argues with fools. It drowns in rumor. It bends under empty stares. It grows tired, not from doing great work, but from reacting to worthless things. But there's power in silence, in stillness, in guarding the gates. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus understood this better than most. Born into slavery, yet freer than kings, because his mind was untouchable. His body may have belonged to another, but his thoughts were his alone. He knew freedom was not found in possessions or position, but in discipline. And discipline begins with the mind. He didn't argue with fools. He didn't seek applause. He didn't wade into the tides of weak men, tossed around by every shift in opinion. He stood firm, unmoved, because he chose what he allowed inside. And that is the standard you must adopt. Guard your mind like a king guards his throne, not out of fear, but out of reverence for what you're building. You are not here to be entertained. You are here to become, and becoming requires focus, discipline, solitude. Learn to say no without guilt. Let the gossipers gossip. Let the critics criticize. Let the restless chase the next thing, the next trend, the next fix. But you vanish. You step into the shadows. You sharpen your thoughts like a blade. You train your mind to sit still when the world spins out of control. You learn to be alone and find peace there. They will not understand you. They will call you distant, cold, arrogant. Let them. What they call cold is simply clarity. What they call distance is inner mastery. What they label arrogance is actually the refusal to be controlled. Because when the world comes knocking, loud, demanding, chaotic, it is not the man with the loudest voice who stands tallest. It is the one who remains silent, unbothered, anchored. That is power, not performance, not approval, control. There's a reason the most dangerous man is often the quietest in the room. His energy is not scattered, it's concentrated. His emotions are not spilled, they're contained. His focus is not borrowed, it's his own. And when he speaks, the world listens, not because he asked to be heard, but because his silence made them curious. So protect your mind like a fortress. Let no fool wander its halls. Let no rumor plant its seed. Let no weak man stain it with his confusion. Own your thoughts. Rule them. Refuse to let the world turn your mind into its playground. You were not born to be swayed. You were born to be still in the storm. And in that stillness, they will see it. Not noise, not anger, not ego, but something far more dangerous. A man who cannot be conquered. Number 4. Let them think you are nothing, and then strike. A storm never declares itself before it rips the sky apart. A lion doesn't send a warning before it pounces, and the most dangerous man, the one who is truly disciplined, never announces his power before it's time to use it. He waits, he watches, he builds, and while the world looks the other way, while they underestimate him, while they laugh behind closed doors thinking he is insignificant, he sharpens, he hardens, he becomes inevitable. Let them overlook you. Let them laugh. Let them whisper your name with doubt. Their arrogance is their weakness and your opportunity, because when they write you off, they stop watching, and when they stop watching, you move freely. That is your advantage. That is your moment of incubation, when the world is blind to what you're becoming. The Stoics understood this perfectly. They didn't parade their strength. They didn't broadcast their intentions. They cultivated themselves like fire beneath the earth, silent, slow, and gathering force until the eruption could no longer be denied. While others boast about their progress, the dangerous man keeps his mouth shut and his head down. While they waste their breath trying to impress strangers, he uses his breath to steady his thoughts. While they post every small win, he stacks victories in silence. No explanations, no need to be seen, because he knows that being underestimated is not a curse. It's a gift. It is the perfect camouflage for transformation. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And what better revenge than to rise quietly, far beyond the reach of those who doubted you, without ever throwing a single stone back. Let them mock. Let them insult. Let them misread your stillness for weakness. Give them nothing. No rebuttal. No reaction. No wasted words. Instead, you respond with the one language they cannot argue with: results. The greatest warriors in history didn't scream into battle. They didn't perform for the crowd. They didn't ask for validation before the first strike. They walked into the storm with the calm of a man who had already won. Their actions spoke what their mouths never had to say. Their discipline, their precision, their patience, that was the roar. That was the announcement. That was the strike. You must do the same. You don't need to argue with doubters. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Your energy is too valuable to be spilled on opinions that weigh less than dust. You preserve that energy. You redirect it inward. You turn it into something solid. While the world dances on the surface, you go underground, digging deep into your work, into your mind, into your purpose. You forge yourself in the fire of long nights, early mornings, and zero applause. You become steel in silence. And when the moment arrives, when fate finally swings open its door, you do not ask for permission to walk through. You do not hesitate. You do not explain where you've been. You move like lightning across a clear sky, so sudden and so undeniable that the world has no time to question it. You strike once, and that's enough. That strike isn't just about success. It's about arrival. It's the moment when everything you've built alone, in the shadows, is revealed in a single breath. And that moment, is earned, not by noise, not by display, but by the quiet daily choice to keep going when no one believed in you, when no one saw what you were building. It's the culmination of all the times you didn't respond, all the times you didn't react, all the times you didn't fold under pressure. That silence wasn't weakness, it was preparation. That stillness wasn't laziness, it was composure. That distance wasn't avoidance, it was strategy. Because when you finally move, you don't just enter the arena, you own it. You walk in as the man they never saw coming, and you leave as the man they will never forget. Let me tell you a truth the world won't say out loud. The man who moves in silence terrifies them. They don't understand him. They can't predict him. He doesn't play by their rules. He doesn't need their approval. He's already won, long before the scoreboard ever lights up. Because power is not in the volume of your voice. It's in the weight of your presence, the pressure of your discipline, the calm beneath your chaos. So yes, let them think you are nothing. Let them sleep on your name. Let them believe you've already failed. Then build in silence, rise in stillness, and when the time comes, strike so definitively that they never doubt you again. That is control. That is precision. That is the Stoic way. Number 5. Walking away is the ultimate power move. Walking away isn't weakness. It isn't surrender. It isn't failure. It is one of the most violent, most decisive acts of self-respect a man can commit in silence. It is the moment when you stop asking, stop explaining, and start declaring, with your absence, that you are no longer willing to bleed for people who won't even bandage your wounds. While the world teaches you that staying, enduring, and begging for understanding is noble, the Stoic knows otherwise. The Stoic knows that walking away, when done not in bitterness but in clarity, is the most sacred act of strength. A weak man lingers in rooms where his name is only spoken in whispers. He stays in places that drain his spirit because he confuses endurance with virtue. He tolerates disrespect, convincing himself that if he just tries harder, proves himself louder, he will finally be seen. But all the while, his dignity slips through his fingers like sand. He thinks staying is strength, when in fact, it's decay in disguise. But the dangerous man, the disciplined man, he does not stay where he is merely tolerated. He does not argue to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding him. He does not plead for crumbs at tables where he was never truly welcomed. He doesn't roar, doesn't slam the door. He simply leaves. And with every step away, he leaves behind the noise, the chaos, the shadows of who he was expected to be. He walks in silence, but his absence thunders. It speaks volumes. It shakes foundations. Because when a man like that disappears, people feel the shift, even if they never understood his presence. Epictetus didn't theorize this. He lived it. Born a slave, he was never granted power by the world. But he claimed something greater, control of himself. He knew that mastery didn't come from dominating others. It came from knowing what to hold on to and what to release. He would have told you plainly, never waste your energy trying to earn respect from those who withhold it as leverage. Instead, pour that energy into building a life so rooted in truth that the world has no choice but to notice, even in your silence. Walking away is not running. It's not quitting. It's choosing peace over performance. It's drawing a line that says, you don't get access to me just because you want it. You don't get to drain me just because I once let you in. When you leave, you are not abandoning something. You are reclaiming everything. You're taking back your time, your space, your focus. You're refusing to be someone else's emotional landfill. You're protecting your mind like a fortress and your soul like sacred ground. And yes, People will talk. They will whisper behind your back. They'll spin their own stories to justify why you disappeared. But none of that matters, because when you walk away from what no longer serves you, you don't owe anyone a closing scene. You are not a character in their narrative. You are writing your own. Let them wonder. Let them search for pieces of you in every echo of silence. Let them replay the moments where they thought you would break, only to realize you simply vanished, without warning, without need, without a single wasted word. That is the strike. That is the blow they never recover from. Not because you confronted them, but because you didn't have to. The most dangerous man is the one who does not need revenge. The one who does not scream, nor plead, nor linger. He just walks. He walks with conviction, with discipline, with fire in his chest and steel in his stride. And every step he takes is a reminder that true power is not found in what you conquer, but in what you no longer allow to conquer you. So when the moment comes, when your spirit whispers, "It's time," listen. Don't look back. Don't explain. Don't apologize. Step away like a ghost in the night. Let your silence echo through their memories. Let your peace speak louder than their games. Because that's the power move. That's the legacy of the Stoic. Not the one who stayed to beg, but the one who left and never looked back. 2025 won't belong to the loud. It will belong to those who master stillness, who choose the silent path over shallow noise, the ones who let their discipline speak long before their words ever do. While others make promises, you will make progress. While they talk of change, you will become it. Let them underestimate you. Let them speak your name with doubt. It only adds weight to your silence, to the fire you're building beneath the surface. No applause needed, no explanation owed. Just daily, invisible work, consistent, quiet, and undeniable. And when your time comes, you won't need to say a thing. They'll feel it. If this message strikes something in you, subscribe. Not for the algorithm, but for yourself. A reminder to return here, to this mindset, whenever the noise gets too loud. And if you're walking this path too, drop a comment. Move in silence. Now close this video, not to escape, but to begin. Step into your solitude, into your power. The world may not see it yet, but the next time they do, it won't be something they can ignore.